So, what if I told you that you could actually change your brain, seriously reduce your stress, and just feel better overall? And all it would take is less time than brewing your morning coffee? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, but the science on this is actually pretty solid.
And this is it. This is the number that matters. We are talking about just 5 minutes a day. Not a whole hour, not even half an hour, just 5 minutes. If you can stick with that for about 30 days, neuroscientists say that's when you really start to see some measurable, lasting changes.
And look, we're not just talking about kind of feeling better here. These 5 minutes a day have been shown in actual randomized controlled trials to seriously reduce symptoms of anxiety and stress. And get this, it can even lead to a real physical reduction in pro-inflammatory markers in your body. So this isn't some mental trick, it's more like a tune-up for your entire system.
Okay, so if you've ever tried meditation and just felt like you are completely failing at it, this next part is especially for you. You're definitely not alone, and it turns out you are probably doing it right without even knowing it.
Does this sound familiar? You sit down, you try to find that inner peace everyone talks about, and instead your brain just throws a whole chaotic party of to-do lists, worries, and totally random thoughts at you. The immediate thought for most of us is, yep, I'm just no good at this. But what if that's not even the point? This quote from the incredible neuroscientist Dr. Richard Davidson just flips the whole script. See, the goal isn't to silence your mind, which is, let's be honest, pretty much impossible. The real goal is to just notice the chaos, to watch it happen without getting totally swept away, to kind of become an observer of your own mind. And here's where it gets really interesting. What if that feeling of mental chaos, that stress you feel when you first try to practice, isn't a sign that you're failing? What if that's the very thing that's making you stronger? To really get why that chaos is actually a good thing, Dr. Davidson has this brilliant analogy that completely changes how you think about meditation. And it all starts at the gym. Think about it like you're lifting weights, right? When you work out, your muscles start to burn. That's lactate building up, and that feeling of discomfort, that's the signal telling your muscles, hey, time to adapt and grow stronger. Well, Dr. Davidson says the exact same thing happens in meditation. That mental burn you feel, the distraction, the agitation, that's the stimulus that builds your mental resilience. In fact, studies actually show that when people first start meditating, it's pretty common for them to report a temporary increase in anxiety. And this isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's basically the mental version of muscle soreness after you try a new workout. It's just a sign that you're challenging the system and that change is right around the corner. So that discomfort isn't something you need to run away from. It's the raw material for growth. You're training your brain to be aware of stress without letting it take over. That is the real workout. All right, so what does this actually look like in real life? It's way simpler and more flexible than you probably think. Let's break down the actual protocol. Okay, first thing, just commit to 5 minutes a day for a month. That's it. No more, no less. Second, forget this idea that you have to sit perfectly still in a silent room. You can do this while you're walking, on your commute, or even doing something simple like washing dishes. The benefits are the same. And third, consistency is everything. It's just about showing up every day, not about having some kind of perfect session. And the long-term goal of this whole thing isn't just about managing stress. It's about building a much deeper state of well-being, a state that scientists have started calling flourishing. Flourishing isn't just about not feeling bad. It's about actively building the skills that lead to a rich, connected, and meaningful life. It's a proactive state of thriving. And the best part? It's a skill you can actually train. So this state of flourishing is built on 4 key pillars, and this simple 5-minute practice trains all of them. First up, you've got awareness. That's just your ability to focus and know what your mind is up to. Then there's connection, things like kindness and gratitude that build great relationships. Third is insight, really understanding the narratives we tell ourselves. And finally, purpose, finding a sense of meaning, even in the little things you do every day. Maybe the most incredible finding from all this research is that when you work on your own well-being, it doesn't just stay with you. It actually has a measurable ripple effect on the people around you. In one amazing study, they trained a group of teachers in this exact same 5-minute daily practice. And just as you'd expect, the teachers themselves reported less stress. But the really wild part was what happened with their students. The students, who had no clue their teachers were even in a study, ended up getting way higher scores on standardized math tests. The teachers' calmer, more focused minds were literally transmitted to the classroom, and it improved everyone's performance. So here's the bottom line. A tiny, consistent daily investment can have this incredible return, not just for you, but for everyone around you. It's less about finding 5 minutes of total peace and more about training for a lifetime of resilience, connection, and purpose. So the only real question is, are you ready to start your first 5 minutes?